All right, today we're diving into a really fascinating story. We're talking about a major pharmaceutical company, the Torrent Group, making a huge and kind of surprising jump into a whole new industry. Let's get into why they're doing it and what it all means.
So it all really boils down to one simple question, doesn't it? Why? I mean, when a company that's a giant in its field decides to pivot this hard, you've got to ask what's really going on behind the scenes. At first, it doesn't quite add up. Making drugs and running lab tests, they feel like totally different worlds, right? But believe me, Torrent's move is anything but random. There's a serious strategy here, and that's exactly what we're going to break down. So first, let's get the official news out of the way. The Torrent Group has launched a brand new company, a subsidiary called Torrent Diagnostics. And let's be clear, this isn't some small side hustle for them. Nope, this is a full-on, major entry into a completely new sector.
Okay, to really understand why Torrent is placing this huge bet, we first have to understand the battlefield they're about to step onto. And let me tell you, calling India's diagnostics market a gold rush is no exaggeration at all.
Just look at that number, $10 billion. That's what the diagnostics market in India is worth right now. It's this massive industry that's behind everything from your annual physical to life-saving disease management.
But here's the real kicker. It's not just big. It's growing like crazy. The projections show it's on track to double to $20 billion in just a few short years. I mean, that kind of explosive growth is going to attract some serious attention.
But here's the twist in the story. This huge market isn't controlled by a handful of big companies. It's actually a super fragmented puzzle made up of thousands and thousands of small, local, independent labs. And that chaos, well, that's both a huge challenge and an incredible opportunity. So, the question is, how does a giant like Torrent plan to walk into this chaotic scene and actually win? Well, that brings us to their playbook. And it's a very, very calculated plan. The absolute cornerstone of their whole strategy is what we call a B2B first approach. What does that mean? Well, instead of spending a fortune on commercials trying to get you to come to their lab, they're going straight to the businesses that already have the patients, hospitals, clinics, and yeah, even those small independent labs. And this B2B plan unfolds in 4 really smart steps. First, they're building a massive, state-of-the-art central lab that will be the hub for quality control. Next, they'll build out a nationwide network of smaller labs that all connect back to that hub. Now here's a key part. They're not just doing routine tests. They're focusing on complex stuff, like molecular and genetic diagnostics. And only after all that is in place will they flip the switch and start marketing directly to patients. Now, this is where Torrent has a massive, maybe even unfair advantage. They're not starting from zero. They're walking in with some serious secret weapons already in their arsenal. They've got a brand name that doctors already know and trust. They've got a built-in network of clinicians. And they've got all this experience with logistics and supply chains from their pharma business. That's a huge head start. So when you add up the strategy and these built-in advantages, you realize Torrent isn't just trying to open a new business. They are positioned to completely reshape the healthcare map in India. So what does this actually mean for everyone involved? This slide really says it all. On the left, you have the current system, fragmented, with quality that can be, well, all over the place. What Torrent is proposing is a completely different model, a centralized network where everything is standardized, high quality, and focused on advanced testing. And you can see this vision right in their official mission statement. Check out those keywords, trusted partner. In an industry where accuracy and trust are everything, Torrent is playing its strongest card, its reputation, to become the reliable name in diagnostics. And all of this leads us to one last, pretty big question. As these corporate giants with deep pockets and massive networks, like Torrent, step into the ring, what happens to those thousands of small neighborhood labs? The ones that have been the backbone of this industry for years. Are we watching the beginning of the end for the little guy? That's the question that's going to define this entire story as it unfolds.